more about POG Media. So, share this one first time you'll be to me. I hit all the notification bell. Subscribe to the channel. Now, if you share, commenting based on the story and air training and making headlines. So, the bay for France and sabiti made I can be a mommy. Political stories air training make waves making headlines. And ADB a sumo channel so. They are so hit home pa a carry weight na ADB among our POG Media. So, now, and asama da ponso a yiri tuna basa ensere eye Dumsor ye light ho nsensem a atete ampansan bibsaw say o area o wono o light ho nsem etise ejina so na say Dumsor etini ahitew na NPP for empese omode timetable ebeba because the previous government John Dramani Mahama Dumsor what the Ghana area mono omo nso empese ombaji side ni bi but o scenario na hwe ne kono ni sisi a it tells we say Dumsor and I hit Ghana empayfo bebre na babonten ECG for empayfo and etimi ababonten abaka se we say Dumsor na dum CC ohun sa mpanyinfo ademre atrase abra omoye asemu impense mu ya bejemre na ya ba room aso ye abra heated argument pa enya asem koto ekoso efa Dumsor Ghana force here timetable NPP force there be we Dumsor we enye Dumsor make your party e dum CC etisa yemo hu maso ye abra penfo transia nkutamodie no ekoso enya semboto akra a very heated argument share so mam say I say POG Media subscribe comment.
If you happen to come across shoes belonging to a cripple, you can identify them as shoes belonging to a cripple without necessarily seeing the cripple wearing them.
How so?
So, if there is Dumsor, we Ghanaians know there is Dumsor. It is not for anybody to come and tell us that there is no Dumsor. And that's what Ameya sought to do in his analysis. Indeed, the MD for ECG also reiterated that same point, that there was no Dumsor. But I'm saying that we Ghanaians, if we see Dumsor, we don't need the ECG manager to come and tell us. Why? On Wednesday, he's talking of Thursday. On Wednesday, my lights went off at 6 p.m., going to 7 p.m., came back the next morning, 6 a.m. That was on Wednesday. Where he says he lives, I live adjacent, meaning that we had our share yesterday, on Wednesday, and he had his own yesterday. And that's how Dumsor behaves. Is that not how it behaves?
Rationing.
Rationing.
Okay. Yes, that's how it behaves.
That's how it behaves. So you cannot come here, sit here, and pontificate. Why do we have capacity? And that today he's saying that, oh, we have capacity, so there's no problem with capacity. It is because there was one visionary leader called John Dramani Mahama who said, look, this problem, I will fix it, and brought on board the capacity. Amere, car power. And people don't know car power, there's car power 1 and car power 2. Speaking with authority because I was on GMPC board. And we worked on these 2 car powers. So, if today you can sit here and beat your chest and say, we have capacity, do you know how that capacity came about? The easiest thing for you to do is to ensure that the capacity that you have continues to run. You have failed. You have failed in that regard. Just ensuring that you pay IPPs to be able to, as it were, fire the machines. The easiest thing. Your father has built you a house, and all you need to do is to maintain. You can't maintain that one too. These couple of years, it's not even couple is 2. These 7 years are wasted years. And that Ghana's history. They are completely wasted years. You don't know what this administration has come to improve. I can cede my time to you, and tell me what improvement has come under this administration.
There's implementation of free senior high school.
When children sit at home for 9 months.
Every constituency has an ambulance.
When they are used to carry cement bags.
Oh, that's an outlier.
What's an outlier?
It's not something that happens
What's an outlier? And when you have to pay, people have died in these ambulances. You can't pay for them to come and carry your sick person. And you say that that's an improvement? So, you realize that when the NDC was in power, what did we do? We put in place the Energy Sector Levy Act. You remember that act? The ESLA Act. To do what? To ensure that we have constant money to pay these IPPs. And ensure that we are able to, as it were, clear the debts. Today, as we speak, where is those Osler funds? Where are those funds? Those funds have been collateralized by this government to the extent that they use those funds to go for loans, and instead of using the loans to even deal with the energy sector issues, you don't know where those monies have gone, and you can also touch the funds because it has been collateralized. Collateralization means using it as security for loan. That's what collateralization
but we use
is.
it, yeah. So once we go for a loan for
what did they use it for?
But for all the loans that we've gone for,
I'm saying that what did they use it for? Did they use it?
We tend to do road shows.
I'm saying that did they use it to fix the energy sector? If they had done that, will we be where we are today?
Okay, I get your argument.
You have collateralized a fund that was making money to deal with the issues of the energy sector. Common sense would have told you that when you go for that loan, use it to deal with the energy sector challenges. You've not done that. You've not done that. So, this government's approach is like what my chairman indicated, my chairman Asidu indicated. You abandon road tolls, and then you now go for loans to fix potholes. What kind of... Do they have thinkers? This government, do they have thinkers?
But there are many roads that are also being done, somebody will argue.
I am saying that, isn't it demeaning to hear your government saying that they've gone for loans to fix potholes? Aren't you angry? That's why they are behaving that way. You've gone for loans, not to improve the cocoa sector. You've gone for loans, not to improve the energy sector. You've gone for money, not to improve water sector, like in Tamale, where they are suffering from water. But you go for loans to fix potholes. Roland, are these people thinking at all? Who thinks for them? And because we don't tell them in their faces that ever since they took over reins of this government, they have stopped thinking. That's why they are doing those things. Why will you abandon road tolls and then go for loans to fix? The road tolls, weren't they used for those purposes? Back to the energy sector. You have called for what is called a map, timetable.
Load shedding timetable. Yes. Because at least it will help me as a consumer plan.
Don't you think that one too is common sense, and that you didn't even need to call for that for it to happen? And hear them say there's no load shedding. And yet, we all know there's load shedding. So, even providing us with information that this evening, take note, you go off. So if I'm supposed to iron 2 or 3 dresses for my court the next day, for the 2 days that I may be off or 1 day, I'll do so. You won't do that one too. So it appears this government is always excited when they see the Ghanaian suffering. Governments are supposed to come and ameliorate the challenges that the people face. But this government comes to compound our problems. You know that businesses are relocating from Ghana. Nivea is gone. The Nivea company.
The cosmetic
is
producers?
gone. It's gone. Do you know that in the sub-region, doing business in Ghana is the highest in terms of cost? And businesses are closing and are relocating. Just because of what? High taxes. Now, if you have erratic power supply, as we are experiencing in recent times, don't you think that it will exacerbate the situation? And businesses will, those who are even resilient and are not moving, would then also join those who have closed and gone away. So did we come or did we go with this government? Did we as a people come or did we go with this government? What kind of people are in charge? And you come here and say that you are sympathizing with us. That is not what we want. We didn't vote you into power to be sympathizing with us. Fix it. You come sympathizing with us so that we'll do what? Your sympathy will switch on the lights. I find this very, very debilitating.
What?
Debilitating. My children are having rashes now. Heat rashes. Why? Because you have a government and people cannot connect. When I hear people say that, NPP, they will break the 8 and the people are supporting them. I feel there are some people who,
but Mr. Maliba,
way of thinking.
People have a right to support the political party.
People don't have a right to support a government that is inflicting pain on you. People don't have a right to support a government that is inflicting pain on you. Haven't they seen it? And so, for me, is there anything that can be done? I don't think this government can salvage any situation now. It's out of their hands. But I think that there's one thing they can do. And that one thing is the timetable. That one, I know they can write. The ECG manager can write. They can type. They have secretaries there. That one, they can do it. Just give us the timetable and let us live under the situation. After all, we have some few months to go.
Well, the few months is to go for the next election.
That's all.
To be more appropriate. Now, Mr. Jantwa, you are within the sector. Nana Mwesi, who also is within the sector, had been complaining constantly. Now, what have your sources been telling you? And how worried are you about the situation if we don't act in time? Parliament, for example, had people stuck in elevators.
Good morning. Good morning to our viewers. I don't even know where to start from. Because it's a broken record, isn't it?
I don't understand. Why is it broken?
All these things we are saying, it's a broken record.
Like a cliche.
Every year it happens. Every year it happens. I must admit, I liked Kofi's introduction. He's the only one in the NPP I've heard not talk about. And we had Dumsor for 9 years. We had Dumsor for this thing. He's the only one I've heard. Because so far as Ghanaians are concerned, brownouts are brownouts. They don't care about whether it was 20 years brownouts or 1 day brownout. But, Roland, let me ask you something. Isn't it very discouraging? After a hard day's work, you left here, you get home, there's no water, there's no light. Nowadays, doesn't water go off? At least where I live, water would go off every 2 days, 3 days, completely off. Then you get home, there's no electricity. That too is off. In this heat, in this weather, you can't have a bath to cool your heat down, and there's no electricity. Look, it's high time we stopped playing politics and started governing. It's high time. Yesterday in Parliament, I was disgusted. I was disgusted when I saw two brothers going at each other's neck. Two brothers, the Jinapo brothers, going at each other's neck, politicking, when Ghanaians are looking for governance. Yesterday, on CNN, President Biden did what? He invited Donald Trump to come help him with the border, the home, border thing in Mexico. Invited him, come, let's do it together. The energy sector is one area that is pushing Ghana's debt. And you know the challenge.
I'm more quite baby, remember POG Media, so share so mommy say a common a twaso. Leave your comment under the comment section. Now, NPP for any HO say, enough power. And then before so enough power. Power no better yet. Say entisa. Say entisa. Car power 2. Muno. Near Hidi BC, our Ghana house. Infidia a year NDC for Eddie by Mbeto ye. And Nemujina so Ekase. ECJ power, ECJ enough power to supply Ghanaians, no. A NDC a Bresso and a day a buy. A bit is a car power to need a cake account. Santisadia, Moody Munim film, game with the Biso Ghana house. A quick heated argument at Ecoso. A brabuja for a transia Umuso Moyas Mumpin. Light won't send them dear. A camia quest Ghana has say, will be a use light at the end media. You may be a use light. Dodona. Until light won't send them a teacher, my dear. Let camia quest or mine equity. Na NDC for Aksopa a NPP. And Yaxam to Akroma. Peace on Dumsor na Ecoson. Omajimre are still Omutua a year in Comodian so. Ye Bajimre, Yasan Boro Masway, near Henrico. So, so enough power. I'll buy an unfair bean can on the other two Yana Gusua or the supply Ghanaians dear. And no much they say NDC for Omubo Humanipa. Yamuru Masway, near Henrico. Say as a POG Media, political stories here training making making headlines, and you'll be exum. Leave your comment under the comment section. Dumsor was where saying.
The challenge here is twofold. The debt is continuing because we haven't been able to pay them, so it is mounting. Number two, we haven't been able to work the what is the cash
cash water flow.
Cash water fall. The World Bank came and suggested that we should have level A, level B. Level A being the IPPs, level B being the SOEs. Have we been able to make sure that the cash waterfall works? The cash waterfall is facing challenges today. At least with the cash waterfall, monies can be made available to pay some of these debts off. Have we been able to do it? And then in the end, who is suffering? The ordinary Ghanaian is suffering. We've got to get to a point in this country where certain issues can be discussed together, find solutions together.
You think that we're divided?
We are divided, aren't we? Because this party can, and you had Dumsor for 4 years. We've just come. It's just one day. Dumsor is Dumsor. Lights out is light out, whether 2 years or 3 years or 4 years or 1 day. Because the food you buy and put in your freezer Eh?
No, but we've not been having it for one day for.
Well, that is what the government wants us to understand. That it is
As
not as
consumers, we tend
prolonged.
to
It
experience
is
it,
not prolonged as when NDC were in power, 2013 to 2017. Does it matter?
Why?
Does it matter?
Why not? Somebody will ask.
Those
why
times,
not?
didn't the lights go out? Did the lights? Did the lights not go out? This time, aren't the lights too out? What are we talking about? The energy sector is one sector where you can't play with because it sustains. It's like the Holy Spirit. It's like the Holy Spirit. It's there to put everything together. Because without energy, forget it. If these lights go off today, there's no program. The program is kaput. So it isn't something you should play politics with. And I expect Parliament to draw everybody together. I expect Parliament, see both sides, sit and say, no, look, this is a problem Ghanaians are going through. Let's find ways of sorting it and stop playing the politics. Politics is not helping anybody. Is it not still going on? Today, we don't even know the energy sector debt. We don't know. And why don't we know? Because it's mounting. The interest keeps mounting. And we don't have the wherewithal to pay. Nobody's saying it. The president comes and says all sorts of things, wanting us to glorify him. Tell us the problem. Tell us the problem. And that was one of the challenges I had with his Sona. Tell us the problems. And let's see how we solve the problems. Because you can't mess with energy. It is next to breathing. Can you believe in this heat? You are sleeping. Okay, those of us who don't sleep in air condition, you have fan on. At least it cools your body. Then there's no fan. You go outside, want to stand outside. Even want to put kete outside, mosquitoes too will do what? Attack your body. It is very uncomfortable, and it's high time we get to the point of stop playing politics and find the right solutions to our energy sector because it's deepening. Continuously deepening. Something has to be done about it.
But did I hear Amayao say that they ended Dumsor? In what?
Please don't let us even go there.
Roland.
Don't let us even go there.
How did they end Dumsor?
Before you come in, let me just make. So I'm just getting the latest. So they do the readings that they do on the system conditions of the generators. That is whether they are VRA, etc. So I've got the latest, and this one just they read the 7 o'clock report. So just 58 minutes ago it was submitted, and my source has already. So not this one, please. All right. It has first match, please. Today is first match, right?
Yes.
All right. So let me put it on the main page. Maybe that will make it better. All right. It has first match on it. So we have the one that was read just 58 minutes ago. The report sent 58 minutes ago. It will be on your screens very soon. It has Akonsombo. And Akonsombo, I believe, will be the hydro. It has 6 units. Don't worry, you'll see it on the screens. Don't worry. And then Pong. Pong also has 4 units working. Tapco has G2, and then Tico has G5. Okay, so we have it. So we have Senate working, Siemens not working, T3 not working. You have the Pong thermal plant not working. Ameri AG76 not working. No units. Same power not working as well. And then you also have the bridge power outfit also not working, and a number of them as well. So indeed, at least we have Asogli using 10 of their units to generate power. And Kofi?
And sorry, and what is this due to? Is it due to generation?
From my source, they don't have fuel. They don't have fuel.
There's no feedstock.
Once they don't have fuel, they say they will not generate.
And that feedstock is gas. Yeah?
So once they don't have fuel, they will not generate. So And so that's the point. And we're getting up-to-date information on the systems and the generators and the units they are using to generate power, and the ones that are able to generate power. You see. So all this now. Yeah, yes, sir.
And what's the source of this information, please?
It's my source.
Because I've seen this. I've seen it. I think I saw it yesterday. I'll show it to you. So that's what
I have the yesterday.
But
they didn't do the
it's
they didn't do the 10 p.m. reports.
It's okay.
But they did the 2 p.m. reports.
And you tell us your source. Well, I mean the source of this.
It's from the institutions.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Roland, it's also important to put it on record that, as I indicated, Honorable Haruna Ijusu said on the floor of Parliament that we've had enough capacity to be able to give us enough supply of power. So the assertion by Council Amaliba that President Mahama provided us with all the capacities, that's not true. Even when we were experiencing Dumsor, okay, from 2012 up until early 2017, we had enough capacities. And that's not according to me. No, that's not according to me. Ghana Energy Commission's report, its energy supply and demand outlook for April 2015 indicated that our peak demand was about 2,300. Our available capacity was 2,552. So when it comes to capacity, we've had enough. Even in Dumsor, we've had enough. What you guys did during your time, you took advantage of the 10 to 13% more capacities that we need to have as a country, and you went into agreements. An agreement that was described by the World Bank country director, that it was obnoxious, it was wicked, it was needless. And that is why we are where we are today, because of the excess capacity charges we are supposed to pay. So please, much as I admit that the situation then and now are really not so different, because the lights are off. But the NDC should not come and sit here and try to act as though they are holier in this situation. Hey, you talk about the fact that we are a wicked government and nobody should support us because we haven't improved on anything. For 4 solid years, under the regime of John Dramani Mahama, the president, Ghanaians experienced Dumsor, and yet you've brought him back for Ghanaians to vote for him again, even in 2020 and again in 2024, for 4 years. Again, I make no excuse whatsoever, and I do apologize, like I've said. We've had erratic power supply in some few months. Even that, we are saying nobody should support our party or our government. But you longer into 4 years Dumsor, and yet you want Ghanaians to come and vote for you. Please, don't do this. Look, I don't call this failure. We have challenges. I've always maintained and I've always said that I want a situation where, just like with the gauges of respect and in all humility, like in New York, I will never think of charging my phone at any time. I don't have to think about ironing my clothes before the next day to go to work. I don't have to worry about whether if I turn
That's
on
what
the
happens in New York.
Yes. The only time I recall having a blackout was in Massachusetts when we had heavy snowstorm. Because
of snow.
Yes, snow.
That's why we had Massachusetts blackout.
But that place too, if there's a blackout, it's bad. It's dangerous.
No, but that's because snow.
No, I mean blackout
Weather.
is blackout. Weather, no. So the point I want to establish today is that yes, it's extremely socially, economically not good. Okay, but the NDC shouldn't come and sit here and act as though like we haven't experienced this before. Okay, especially against the backdrop of the fact that these information that, and even with the issue of the ESLA, this is what happened in 2015. They introduced the ESLA. I mean, the levies,
the nuisance tax, as you called it.
the levies that they introduced to be able to pay the PDCs and then the IPPs. So when we came in, we established a special vehicle, to ensure that SPV, and collateralize our levies or our taxes, so that we can have a lot of money to offset the loans that we owe the IPPs. And of course, to a very large extent, it has helped. Okay, it's not that bad. The PLC is a public entity That's available for everybody to see what is happening there. So we found a prudent and a very good way, because if you want to collect tax and pay these billions of cedis to these people, and when you don't realize these taxes, it becomes a bit not so good. So we established that special vehicle to ensure that at the end of the day, we'll be able to pay the RPs. Again, I am very sure and I can comfortably tell you that Dumsor, like we expect.
MP before Grandpa kind of doom CCA, the moment you Dumsor. Shadows one say, I say POG Media, political stories, training, make a waves, make headlines, and a son of Sona, EDB amount. Say the bay beats me, Apostle, EDB soon winning to know, but what he has beats me, I subscribe to the channel, a moment. Now, what hits it on the notification bell. So the be next time we are really able to what will beat me, NPP. And see, that's an everything a share or channel you so. Shadow Sumam say, I'll say POG Media. Akroma.